Grandma, listen. I was able to get 100 points on my English test.
Oh my, that's wonderful, Alex. Did you study a lot for it?
Not really. I just did my homework every day like the teacher told me to. She said I didn't have to study much as long as I did my homework every night.
Is that so? But it's really difficult for a lot of people to get 100 points by just doing their homework. Your dad was never able to get 100 points on any of his tests when he was your age.
Are you sure? I thought Dad was a really smart man.
And he is, Alex, but he wasn't always that way.
I guess you're right. Dad knows a lot of things, but he's always said he's bad at English. I'll start helping him with his English from now on.
Yes, please help him out. Are you still talking a lot with your dad?
Yep. We talk to each other every day when we have time, but Dad said there's a time difference. That's what he has. So he can only reply to me in the morning or at night.
That's right. Right now, the country that Dad is living in right now has a different time than where you live.
I really want to play games with Dad more. Dad and I talk to each other a lot about the video games we play, and I've become a lot better at them now. And I want to show him.
You're talking about that game system your dad got for you this year. For your birthday present, right? You guys like to play that game where you fight each other, right?
That's right. Do you want to try it, Grandma? I'll teach you all the moves.
Oh, you think that your grandma could play a game like that? I never really played any video games like that when I was your age, so I'm not sure what to do.
I think you can do it. Everyone sucks when they first start playing. So you don't have to worry.
Thank you, Alex. Then I guess your grandma is just going to have to buy that game system for herself. Then I'll be able to play with you, right?
Yeah. Make sure you buy it, Grandma.
I'll think about it, okay? Where's your mom at right now?
Nope, she's not here. She told me she's gonna buy food for us.
That's what I thought. Well, it's really amazing of you to be able to stay at home all by yourself without Mom there.
I'm in the 3rd grade now, so I think I can handle being here. But I do miss seeing Dad all the time. I want to go out to play with him again, and maybe go to the arcade together.
And your dad always tells me that he wants to come home to see you, Alex.
Does he?
Well, of course he does. To your dad, you are the most important thing that's ever happened to him. And of course, you're the most important thing to me now as well.
I want to go where Dad is now and try living with him.
Huh?
Dad sends me all these pictures of the places he's living, and it makes me really want to go there too.
Has anything happened with you and your mom?
No, nothing. You know how I can go and see Dad?
Well, Alex, you're going to have to wait for your dad to come back to the US. Or maybe the next time you have a nice long break from school, like summer vacation. Then you might have time to go to the country he lives in and stay with him.
Are you sure?
Well, your mom and dad will have to talk about it first. And if they both say it's okay, then I think you can go see him.
They both have to say okay? Okay. I think Mom will be okay with me going to see him.
I sure hope so. That's right. Do you want Grandma to go talk to your mom about it and see what she thinks?
Can you do that? Thank you! I want you to talk to her right now.
Well, I can't ask her right now. But later on, I'll make sure to talk to her and ask.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go do my homework now.
You're so good about that kind of thing, Alex. Make sure to tell your dad later that you got 100 points on that test, okay? I'm sure he'll be so proud of you for that. Talk to you later, Alex.
Bye-bye, Grandma.
Hello, Casey. Are you able to talk for a little bit with me? Delia, it's been a long time since we last had a chance to chat. Did something happen that you wanted to talk about? Well, I have something to talk with you about regarding Alex. Regarding Alex? What's happened with him? Well, it seems like Alex would really like to go and meet his dad. When I was texting with him yesterday, he told me quite a bit about how he misses his dad and wants to go see him. Ugh. But you realize that Drake isn't in the States right now, right? Does this mean he'll be moving back home here soon where Alex will be able to go see him again? Because if he is, I need to talk with him in person again. No, I don't think so. I believe he's still technically going to be living there for a long time. Now, back to what I was talking about. Because it actually has a lot to do with Drake not being back in the States for a while. Do you think during Alex's summer break, or some other times closer to Christmas, you can allow him to go and see his dad? Are you kidding me? He's only in elementary school, and you're asking me to allow him to go overseas to see his dad? Of course, I'm planning on going with him for the flight out there. And also, I'd be willing to pay for his ticket on the plane. It's been a very long time now since Alex has seen his dad, right? So I'd really like for Alex to have a chance to go out there and see his dad and hang out with him for a little while. He keeps telling me how much he wants to go and play with his dad now. Oh, that's amazing. A family like yours, which is so fortunate, really does see things differently from me and my family. Thinking that it's all right to take an elementary schooler overseas on vacation? And you, his grandma, are willing to pay for that trip. Do you understand that something like that costs a lot of money? Well, it's not like my family has that much money to say we're able to go anywhere we please. His dad is no longer around him, and he keeps talking with me about how much he wants to go and see him. I can't just let my grandson go without his dad for such a long time now, can I? But in this day and age, taking your family overseas on vacation is a lot of money, and means that your family must have a lot of wealth. I would understand it if this was Canada or Mexico we were talking about, but Drake is all the way in South Korea. That's about a 10 to 11 hour flight from here, right? I understand that you might have the money from your husband for a trip like that, but I'm a single mother with only my son. Having my son realize that I don't have the kind of money you do is not fair. You're talking about something like that? I understand that you're getting more than enough from Drake in child support for Alex, right? Even still, there are a lot of bills to pay here, and with inflation, we might have the money that he gives us, but that's not enough to allow us to spend on whatever I'd like. The inflation is already starting to kill me, and it's not like I can work more because I have to care for my son half the day. Let me tell you this, Delia. If you have the money to take yourself and Alex overseas, then you could at least start helping pay for Alex and myself some more. Is it really that tight over there right now? Drake has told me a dozen times now that he's giving you both enough money to live without having to worry about debt. But I told you there are a lot of bills here. I have to start taking out small loans for the sake of my son. You and your son have all that money, while I'm over here working my butt off to try and raise my boy all by myself. Yet you're asking me to allow you and Alex to go overseas to go see his dad? It's a bit messed up of you to think you can ask me something like that when I'm already tied up with financial issues. I'm sorry, Casey. I was just asking about that to try and get Alex to feel a little less lonely. Saying something like that isn't helping. I have literally been working day and night so that kid doesn't have to feel lonely. You really have no idea what kind of troubles I've been going through over here. Try to be a bit more delicate with your wording, would you? Don't tell me that you're still upset that I got custody of my son in the divorce. If you have a complaint to make about it still, then you can go and complain to the US court system. The whole reason this happened is because everyone sees that the mother has every right to her children. I wasn't meaning for any of this to come off that way. Then let's just act as though you never asked me anything like that. But even though you both are divorced now, Alex has a right to see his father. And I feel that letting him have enough time with both of his parents is very important for his growth into a mature adult. Of course, I'm thankful that he has a mother like you that is able to work hard to raise and care for my grandson. But that's why I want you to think a little more about Alex seeing his father as well. I've been giving Alex a lot of my time already, Delia. And I've been getting kind in getting Alex a phone so that he can talk to his dad when he wants to. Also, he'll be able to see Drake when Drake is back in the States, right? So what else do you want me to do for him? I can't help that his father decided to go overseas for work. If you're going to keep asking the impossible of me, then I have every right to take your guys' ability of ever hearing from Alex again away from you both. Understood, Casey. I'm sorry for not thinking about your situation before asking. Well, if you do understand me, then we're good. Now, I believe that you and I are done talking about something as serious as this. But let me tell you that if I start to hear about this from Drake, I'll be pissed. You have to understand that it's my right to raise my son the way I want to, and that you need to stop nitpicking everything I do around here. I'm the only one having to go through the worst of it right now, and you'd better understand that as well. I know. I'm really sorry, Casey. It hurts me hearing that you want to have my son go all the way out there to see Drake. Having to even let him talk on the phone with his dad hurts, so I really don't want to allow anything more at this time. I can't stand to think about Drake anymore, so I hope you'll stop trying. But Casey, if you'd really like a bit of a wake-up call, remember that you're the reason Drake left you after you cheated on him, right? And so what? Are you trying to tell me that the one that cheated can't have bad memories of her own? Are you trying to say that someone like me shouldn't have the right to my son? The whole reason I went out with another man is because your son didn't know how to treat me right. So stop trying to make me look like I did all of this to you guys. I'm more of a victim here than all of you are. And one last thing. Stop talking about something as private as the reason my ex and I went our separate ways. I'm sorry for overreaching into a subject such as that. Well, I'll have a talk with my son, and if he says anything about making it back home for a bit, I'll let you know. Even that is a bit of the pain in the butt for me, though. Ugh. And if you really want to take my son on a trip with you to go see his dad, then at least give me just as much money as Drake is every month, please. Then I might think about letting you take him. If you can do that for me, then you're free to talk to me again. If it's not about money, then don't bother me. It's a real problem for me when you try to talk to me about my life.
Grandma?
Alex? It's rare of you to text me this late in the evening. Shouldn't you be getting yourself ready for bed now?
I want you to help me, Grandma. Please. I don't like it here.
What's going on there? Where are you at right now?
I don't know. It's really dark and there isn't a lot of space.
It's dark and there's not a lot of space. Are you saying there are no lights for you to turn on there?
Yeah. I don't know where I am, Grandma. I'm scared. Why am I here right now?
Alex, calm down. Take some deep breaths and relax.
Okay. It's really scary and hard to move.
It's going to be okay. I think it's only hard for you right now because you're scared. Also, you have the light on your phone, right? Can you use the flashlight to look around you?
It's too small in here and I can't move.
So you think it's too small for you to move around right now, right?
Yes. I can move my arms just a little, but I can't stand up.
Do you hear any sounds?
I can hear cars sometimes, driving by, I think.
So you must be outside, right? Is it hot right now or cold?
It's a little warm, and I'm starting to get a little warmer.
Why are you outside right now? You don't know the reason why, right?
Yeah, Mom and I had a fight, and I ran back to my room and started to cry. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I was in here.
You got into a fight with your mom. Why did you guys fight?
I told her that I want to go and live with Dad, and after that, she was really mad at me.
What?
I think Mom put me in here. She told me that the bad kids will get thrown away if they don't be nice to their moms.
Alex, your grandma is going to come and save you right now.
Do you know where I am?
Your dad told me a long time ago a great way to find out where you are when you're lost, so I'll use that. I'll be able to look for your phone on my phone and see where you're at. When I do, I'll be right there for you.
Really?
Yes, so everything will be just fine, Alex. I'll be there to help you really soon. Delia, what the hell is going on here? I have over 1 million voicemails from you on my phone right now, and it's lagging the whole thing out. Do you have any idea what time it is right now? You're actually causing me to lose precious sleep. And I want to ask you, Casey, if you have any idea what you've done. Huh? I'm talking about what you've done to Alex. I found Alex in the trunk of the car. This is all you're doing, isn't it? What the hell were you thinking? I can't even begin to believe what I've seen here. Alex was in the car's trunk? Like, in the back of my car. What are you talking about right now? I want you to stop playing dumb with me right now. I've already heard about everything from Alex, so you'd better start telling me the truth right now. He told me that he said to you that he wants to go live with his dad, and you did this to him because of that, right? I have no clue what you're going on about. I'm sure that kid did it to himself without thinking what he was doing. Then can you tell me where you're at right now? I had something to attend to, so I had to leave the house. But didn't you just say to me you were sleeping? That was just to express my disbelief. Well then, what do you have to attend to right now? Does it really have anything to do with you, Delia? It sure as hell does, actually. I can see that right now you don't understand just how much trouble you're really in for now, do you? If you take a look in your voicemails, you'll see that I'm not the only one that's been trying to get a hold of you, right? Yes, but I'm sure that was just you trying to call me from another phone, right? You knew I wouldn't answer to you calling me with your number, so you tried calling me with your home phone, right? Take a better look at that number. I feel that I shouldn't even be having to ask you to look right now, though. That number is from the county police department. Huh? Did you call the police over this? You should be getting in touch with me before you go and getting them involved. You never answered me, right? Are you mentally deranged, Casey? You already acknowledged all the calls I had given you, right? But why are the police trying to call me now? What did you say to them to get them to call me this much? You left your son in the trunk of your car, and then you left your car with him in it before leaving your house. I didn't know that. I told you already that there's no need to lie about this anymore. I know exactly what's been going on with you and taking care of Alex in your house, and that kind of thing needs to change. Never coming back to your house for days at a time, leaving him there all alone to fend for himself. And you threatened him by asking that he never talk about what goes on at your house to anyone besides yourself, right? I never did something like that. I even gave Alex's elementary school a call. They told me that there are times where he never changes his clothes and is always in the same pair. There have already been a bunch of moms complaining to the school, wondering if your son is really being taken care of well enough or not. This is all what his homeroom teacher told me. And to be honest, you've gotten calls plenty of times from his teachers before, right? That's just the kind of kid he is. Alex likes to wear the same clothes over and over again without ever getting changed. So blaming me for something like that, you're starting to make me look like the problem. Ugh, it's a waste of time trying to get you to talk about this. We are already on top of things and will have all the evidence we need of you not taking care of Alex like a mother should. And as for what's happened this time, there's a security camera that was overlooking your car the whole time that we'll be looking over. So it's over. I'm going to let the law handle you the way it should have been years ago. Hold on, please. You don't have to make such a huge deal out of this. What about everything that's been going on doesn't warrant it being a huge deal? You have it all wrong. There's a good reason for everything. A good reason, huh? And what the hell is that good reason you have? Alex has been so selfish lately about things, and has been driving me up the wall. So I chose to put him in the back of that car as a way to get him to understand that he's being a little brat and needs to stop. So you're telling me that you did in fact put him in the trunk? Well, no matter how you try and justify it, that was not okay. And what the hell, Casey? You're going to put your son into the trunk of your car at this time of the night, and then you drove your car down the road a little bit and left it in a dark alley where nobody would see or find him. Tell me, Casey, how long were you planning on him being in this trunk without any food or water as the temperature continued to rise in it? He was beginning to have a panic attack, and had I not come for him, he would have asphyxiated himself. What would have happened then? I just assumed this would make him apologize to me. I gave him his phone to bring with him. I just thought he'd send me a text saying sorry. But haven't you noticed that he never bothered to talk to you, instead choosing to talk to his grandma that lives outside of town? You understand what that means about his relation to you, right? To him, you're not the kind of person he thinks will come to help him. I also happen to be stressed about work, so I might have taken that out a little on him as a way of cooling myself down. So can you please just tell the police that this was all an accident and we can get back to being a happy family? Just tell them that you misread the situation and that Alex and I were just playing hide and seek. I promise to never do something like this again, okay? I'm not going to let you have a second chance. From now on, my son and I will be the ones to raise Alex, and without you being a part of his life. And how is Drake going to help you look after him when he's on the other side of the world? Drake told me that if there was an emergency, he'd come home. He's already been informed of this and is on his way back as we speak. And he'll be coming to see you very soon so that he can get the custody of his son that was always meant to be his. I'm coming to get Alex. Are you? Then you can hurry up and make it over to the police department to see us. Right now, Alex is really exhausted after everything that's happened to him, and he's sleeping in the commissioner's office. Delia, I really did make a mistake this time. So just forgive me for this and let me have him back. Please. At least don't ask the police to be part of this anymore. I'm not sure how many times you'll have to hear this, but what you've been doing to Alex is exactly what mothers should not be doing. You've been getting $2,000 a month from my son for Alex, right? Well, I think he should have been giving you a lot less for child support, because that's too much for Alex at the age he is. So tell me, Casey, how have you not had enough money to raise Alex? I hear you even got money from him when you last met him, right? You've really had it made for yourself, yet you chose to be the stupidest mother on the planet and played too close to the edge. I'm not going to allow you the chance of being Alex's mother ever again, you hear me? But Alex is really important to me. I can't think of what life would be like if he was taken away from me. So please, don't take away the happy future I want to have with my son. I promise I'll never hurt him again. I will make sure to never let him feel lonely or helpless ever again. Well, you should have been doing that long before today, Casey. You say he was important to you, but what you've been doing shows everyone the opposite of that. You always love to cry about how you're the one that suffers the most after the divorce you created. But the only one who's actually been suffering is Alex, right? I want you to remember this day and learn from your terrible mistakes as a wife and a mother. That's all you have left in life, right? To feel the regret for all the horrible things you've done, since you can't even raise your own son. From there, my son made an immediate flight back from his business trip in Korea to come and see Casey and make sure that she was arrested. He was then able to file all the correct paperwork with both the police and the court and won full custody of his boy. Also, when it came to how Casey was living, she had no job at all and was using the money she got as child support to only care for herself. And that's the reason why she always cried about not having enough money for herself and Alex. And actually, right after Casey had put Alex in the trunk of her car and parked it down the road, she went with a man she was fooling around with back to his house to spend the night. But when he learned that she had a son, and learned about how she was raising him, he immediately told her off and kicked her out of his house. It seems that even the man she loved more than her own son didn't see her actions as humane and justified, and was willing to kick her out of his place while she was only in her underwear, in order to not have to be around her again. Casey was taken into police custody the next morning after being found by Drake sitting on a park bench crying, and she was taken to court to be tried for multiple crimes relating to what she'd done with Alex. When the final hearing was done and there was nothing else to say, she was charged with parental negligence and attempted murder after leaving her son in the car trunk on purpose. My son and I were also asked if we'd like to ask for a settlement for the damages this caused to us, but we declined, knowing that she had no money to give now. After her trial, she had landed herself in prison, where she'll now be serving a year-long sentence with parole following after that. She might only be there for a year, but with everyone learning of the horrible things she's done, there's no chance of her making a life for herself again. And with the restraining order my son got on her, she'll never be able to see him or my grandson again, which is a huge relief. Now that she's on her way to prison, I've been hearing from her lawyer that she's finally started to realize the danger she had put her son in, and that this is the cost of doing so. But even with hearing about how depressed she's become now, I still can't say I feel sorry for her in any way. And I really hope that a year there is enough for her to regret all she's done, in that small cell of hers every day and night. As for myself, I'm going to be going with Alex and moving out to South Korea with my son as he returns to work there. At first, he was planning on moving back home to the States to be with us, but Alex has been saying that he wants to live in the country his dad works. And so after a few talks with my son about it, we're finally on our way overseas. Neither Alex nor I know anything about the language or even the culture there, but the fact that my son and his son will be together again has left me feeling so happy about this. It's been a few months now since moving there, and I hear that Alex has started to make lots of friends at his new school. But what's even crazier is hearing that after only a month or two of studying, he's already able to communicate with the others in Korean. Seeing just how happy and accomplished he looks about his new life here, it really does warm my heart, knowing that this was the right choice for him. From here on, I'm going to continue to support my son and grandson in the best possible ways that I can, and pray that all will stay healthy and that my son and grandson will have the time they need to be around each other here. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey there, Marie. I heard that you and my brother finally found a place where you both want to move into. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess you've already heard the big news then. But Randy and I were going to be moving into our new house next month. Isn't that exciting? We hope that you and all your family can come and visit us there as soon as we have everything unpacked and cleaned up.
Oh, we just love to do that, but I heard that your new house is going to be pretty far from Randy's work. Is that true?
Yeah, it is going to be just a little far for Randy, unfortunately. But it's just such a good house that neither of us were considering not snatching it up when we saw it. It's only a few years old and also seems perfect for us since we have pets.
I see. Well, I really am glad that you two are so pleased with what you found then. That's great news. I guess that means that you didn't like the houses that I sent over as suggestions when you were still looking?
Well, Randy was the one who was looking into the houses that you sent. But then he started looking into the neighborhoods they were located in, and they didn't seem so great. And I guess I'm just a bit of a scaredy cat, so I asked that we live somewhere else. But thank you so much for wanting to help us with our search. It really did mean a lot that you wanted to give us a hand.
No, I am so sorry that I didn't do better research and just sent you what I thought looked nice and in your price range. I didn't bother to do any further reading about the neighborhoods or schools or anything like that.
Well, it really isn't a problem at all now that we found the new house that we're going to live in. I'm just so happy that the search is finally over and we found the place that we want to live.
Speaking of, I guess this means that you two are going to have to really start nailing down those wedding plans then, right? I heard through the grapevine that you were having some trouble finding a venue for the wedding, though.
Yeah, we were having a bit of trouble, but we finally managed to find a spot and put in reservations.
Oh, really? So then you two did end up finding a spot to have your wedding as well?
Well, you remember that one spot that I was talking to you about the last time that we met up, don't you?
I remember you telling me that more than any other place in the world, you wanted to get married there.
Exactly, that place.
But you also told me that it was really, really popular and might be impossible to ever get a reservation in on time.
I know, and I really did think that it was going to be too difficult to do that. But I just didn't give up. I called them a couple times a week to ask about any cancellations, and then finally a space opened up.
So then you basically just kept hounding them until there was an availability?
I mean, basically. But you have to be persistent if you want a reservation at this place. So, one day, I called them and they said there were some open dates right around when we were wanting to get married. So I booked a day right away.
Wow, well, good for you. It sounds like things are really starting to come together for you and Randy then, aren't they?
I sure hope so. I mean, these all seem like good signs to me. But man, it has been so difficult trying to nail everything down. I mean, it's been a while since I felt like I was fighting this hard for bookings and open houses and all these stuff.
I see. Well, you know that you can always ask me for a little help if you need it. I'm more than willing to give a hand if you need it.
Thank you so much. I mean, you really don't know how much it means to have someone that I can talk to about all of this. And since you offered, I really just might end up taking you up on that. I really am glad that I have such a great sister-in-law like you that I can always count on. Thanks again for everything.
Oh, don't make me blush. You know that I'm just happy to be there for you when you need me. Just let me know if there's anything else you might need. By the way, does that mean that you've officially booked and paid for the wedding venue? I assume so, since you were so set on getting a date there.
I'm actually going to call them in a week to try and finalize everything. I didn't have all the money I would need to make the booking when I made the reservation a week ago.
I see. Well, yeah, that sounds like you still might have a lot on your plate for the time being then. Maybe best to get back home and think all of this through so it all goes along smoothly. I had one friend who just kind of rushed their wedding plans without stepping back to think about the wider picture and the larger plan, and they ended up with a very expensive ceremony that they were only okay with.
Oh, I see. Well, that is a good point then. I don't want to dig myself into a hole that I won't be able to get out of. You're right. I guess there is still quite a bit that I need to think about. But I'm really glad that you came to me so that I could talk to you about all of this.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I know that there are probably a million things going on inside of your head right now, so it can be hard to keep everything straight. But for now, you've gotten your dream wedding venue booked, and that's a huge check on your to-do list. By the way, is it really true that your wedding day is the same day you and Randy had your first date?
Yes, it is true. But that isn't actually why we chose to go with that date. It just so happened that our schedules happened to match up around that time of year, and then that day happened to be free.
I see, but then again, it would be kind of hard not to go with a date like that, right? I mean, it's just too perfect if you ask me.
I mean, you're very right there. I'd be lying if I said that we didn't know what we were doing at all.
That's great. Well, anyways, my boss is calling me into his office right now, so I think I have to go.
Oh, yes, I guess lunch is almost over, isn't it? I guess I should probably start getting things ready as well.
Of course. So sorry for taking up your lunch break talking about this.
It was no bother at all. I really enjoyed catching up with you and getting to talk about all of this. Thank you for listening and for offering so much helpful advice.
It's my pleasure. I guess we'll talk later then. Have a good day.
Hey, Hilda, are you there? Do you have a second to talk? I was just wondering if I could talk to you about something really quick.
Yeah, sure. What's up? Did you have another wedding question or something?
Well, the thing is that my reservation at that venue I was talking to you about got canceled.
Oh, really? You mean you got a call from there saying that your reservation was gone or something?
Hilda, I'm going to ask you straight, so please don't play dumb with me. Were you the one who canceled it?
What? What do you mean by that? I'm sure I have no idea at all what you're talking about. How could you just accuse me of something like that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm shocked that you would even say something like that.
I think the one who is most shocked here is me. I mean, how could you do this to me? When I called them and they said the reservations had been canceled, I asked what phone number they got a call from to do that. And they gave me your phone number, Hilda.
Wait, what? The staff members actually gave you my phone number? What is the matter with them? Don't they know anything about privacy laws? They can't just hand out my personal information like that.
Well, I asked them to help me confirm how many reservations were canceled without my knowing. They gave me your number because it was attached to my file that they had on hand. Thankfully, I won't have to pay any kind of cancellation fee for what you've done. But I can't believe that you would do this to me.
But what other choice did I have? I can't just have you marrying my brother, you know.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I don't get it.
I mean that you really think you're good enough to be with someone as cool and smart and handsome as Randy? You're just a fat, ugly nobody. You were never ever going to be accepted into this family. I guess you haven't figured this out yet, but Randy basically only dates fat, ugly girls like you to make himself feel better.
No, that can't be right. You're lying to me.
You really think that me, his sister, who has seen every girl Randy has brought home, is lying to you about this? No, it's the truth. You never stood a chance of actually joining our family, so you might as well just cancel your engagement with Randy right now.
But I can't do that.
So you mean to tell me that even though you know your fiancé's sister is against your marriage, you're still going to try and go through with it? You really are a troublesome woman, do you know that? Honestly, I would be impressed if it wasn't so obnoxious.
You know, I've always felt that way. Like I wasn't good enough to be with Randy. I never could see what he saw in me. But the fact of that matter is that I want to marry him and he wants to marry me, and that's all that matters.
Of course that's not all that matters. I won't let you two get married. You'll see.
What do you mean? How on earth do you think you're going to stop us from getting married?
Because I'll stop at nothing to make sure that your wedding doesn't happen. It isn't fair. You don't deserve to be happy, and you don't deserve to be in my family. So you can count me out of your wedding. Do you understand? And just how do you think Randy is going to act when he learns that his own sister isn't going to be at his wedding?
Well, I think that you would really upset him if you did that, actually.
That's kind of the whole point, Marie. I am going to show my brother that a woman like you is just going to make him sad. And then every day, he'll start to love you less and less, until your marriage is nothing but a sham. And then he'll have hopefully realized what a mistake he's made being with you, and then he'll finally leave your fat ass.
I don't get it. Is all this hate for me really just because I'm a heavier person? I mean, do you just want me to lose weight?
It doesn't matter if you lose weight now, you'll still be a fat person at heart. Nothing you ever do will overcome that.
Hilda, that is a really awful way to view people, I think. But I'm afraid that it isn't going to change the way that I feel about your brother. Anyways, I'm going to tell Randy about what you did to our wedding plans.
Fine, go ahead and tell him. See if I care. I'm going to go and tell him that your wedding is off. I'm going to ask him to leave you and find someone better and more well-suited to him. After all, I have plenty of friends that he can pick from.
And you really think that your brother is just going to go along with all of that?
I think that I'll show my brother the tier of woman he can get with if he wants. And once he realizes how horrible you are in comparison, he'll surely choose to marry someone else. So I wouldn't hold your breath on this wedding happening.
Hilda, are you there? We have seriously got to talk. What is the matter with you? Why would you just send trash to my workplace? That was you again, wasn't it?
What are you talking about this time? Why are you always trying to blame me for all the problems going on in your life?
Are you telling me that this really wasn't you? Because I am seriously thinking of reporting this to the police and they will find out who sent it.
Okay then, go report your little trash problem to the police. Don't waste my time like you're doing now, though.
Now, Hilda, I understand that for whatever reason you really don't seem to like me. But you can't go taking out this weird grudge of yours while I'm at work, okay? It's just unacceptable.
No, you know it's unacceptable? Just how unbearable having to deal with you is. Why won't you just leave my brother already? I mean, I heard that you two are legally married now. Did my opposition mean nothing to you? I told you that you two weren't allowed to get married.
And I thought I told you that was something between Randy and I. You don't have a say in whether or not we get married, do you understand? And nothing you say now is going to change anything.
Well, you two better not have your actual wedding, or else there is going to be serious hell to pay. I will make sure that the whole thing comes crashing down around you.
I don't get it, Hilda. I thought that you and I were getting along so well. I really don't know what I did to make you dislike me, but I just wish that we could be adults and talk this out.
Talk this out? I don't ever want to see your face again, let alone talk anything out. I mean, how dare you get married to my brother? No, you and I are never ever going to see each other again.
Are you really sure you want to leave things like this? I mean, I'm sure that Randy would love to talk to you about this as well. I think he's starting to get really confused and upset with you. Don't you at least want to explain yourself to your brother? I mean, I know how close the two of you are and I don't want to ruin that.
Oh, please. If you didn't want to ruin it, then you should have stayed away from him in the first place. Just your existence is ruining what he had together. I knew my brother before you even knew he existed, and yet now you think you can just barge in, marry him, and pretend like it's nothing.
Hilda, is that how you really feel about all of this? Then I really just don't know what to say. But I want you to know that your brother makes me very happy, and I make him happy, and I'm not sure what about that makes you so unhappy.
I don't even care what the two of you do anymore. Just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. And I just want you to know that you're going to look hideous in your wedding dress, and everyone is going to talk about how horrible you look and what an awful couple you are. So enjoy your wedding when everyone is talking behind your back. Hey there, Marie. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry about what happened to your wedding.
Hey, Hilda, sorry. What do you mean by that exactly?
I just mean about your wedding ceremony, you know? I know that my brother said that the whole thing was off, right? But you know that my brother isn't even upset about it? He said that if I wasn't going to be at the wedding, then it wasn't one that he should be having. So I guess that means that you've been officially dumped and left all on your own.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure he just told you that so you would keep quiet and stay out of our way. But we've already had our wedding.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Randy told me yesterday that nothing was going to happen. What do you mean that your wedding already happened?
I mean that it literally just happened. We just wrapped it up right now. Randy figured that you would trust whatever he told you, so he came up with that lie so that you wouldn't interfere with us.
But I don't understand. This isn't making any sense to me. How could this be?
Well, it happened because I told him all about how you canceled our wedding venue reservations and kept threatening to do even more if the two of us got married.
So then, you two really already got married? And you did it today? That still doesn't make sense, though. I mean, Our parents left to go abroad just a few days ago. Are you telling me that they weren't there either?
No, the wedding was in Italy and your parents are here with us.
But you mean you all went to go to your wedding in Italy and you left me here all alone?
Yep. Not just your parents, though. Plenty of your relatives and mine showed up to help Randy and I celebrate. Of course, I am still upset that we couldn't get the original venue that we wanted, but I'm not about to complain about what we ended up with.
No, this can't be happening. I mean, I thought you had given up on the wedding. I didn't even hear that you made a second reservation for another venue, but now you're telling me it's because you made your plans in Italy?
Yeah. It was a bit last minute, I will admit. And even though I saw so many of our relatives were there, that was basically it. It was a very small ceremony, and there couldn't have been more than a couple dozen people.
So then you two went through with it, and everyone knows about it? Randy, Mom, and Dad all lied to me about the wedding and then left without saying a word to me about it?
That's right. We were all really thinking hard about what to do with you. Then your mom told us about how you went through her phone. Something that you do a lot, I guess? To find out when our wedding was going to be happening. So that's when we realized that he just had to keep our plans absolutely secret. And that's when Randy suggested getting married overseas. So we left no traces of texts and did all of our planning and coordination over the phone.
So you all tricked me. You all went this far just to keep me from knowing about the wedding. I thought we were all family here. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. How could you all do this to me?
I asked you to accept that Randy and I were getting married over and over again. But all you did was return that with threats that you would do something to ruin our wedding. You put me into the position where I felt like I couldn't do anything but lie to you. And all your family agreed that it was the best way to keep you from doing anything that would completely embarrass your brother and I. If you don't like what's happened, I'm afraid that you have no one to blame but yourself.
But I don't get it. Randy told me that you two weren't getting married. My own brother lied to me. I've tried texting him, but he isn't reading any of my messages now.
Well, that's probably because him and your parents have all decided to block you while we're here. We just wanted nothing to do with you after all that you've been putting me through. And quite frankly, I'm really not sure if they're going to want to do anything with you when we get back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my honeymoon to enjoy. After her parents got back from Italy, they talked to Hilda and told her that they were cutting her out of their lives and never wanted to see her again. They also promised Randy and I not to ever tell Hilda a word about us ever again. We even had to find a new house to move into since Hilda found out where we were planning on going. Although that was a search that I started as soon as I learned that Hilda canceled my wedding venue reservations. As for Hilda, she fell into a deep depression after her family basically all turned their backs on her. I guess she just couldn't bring herself to understand why this was her fault. I can only hope for her sake, though, that one day she realizes the mistake she made. And maybe by the time she does that, all of us will finally be ready to let her back into our lives. Thank you for watching! If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.